Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something that will make your heart race. Have you ever felt her eyes linger on you just a second too long, and you couldn't tell if it was respect, curiosity, or secret desire? That silence, that pause, that breath she holds when you walk into the room, men often ignore it. They think it's nothing, but it's everything. Women rarely say outright what they want, especially when it comes to older men. They test, they hint, they wait. And if you miss those signals, you'll convince yourself she was never interested, when in reality, she was screaming for you to notice her without using a single word. Here's the truth no one tells you. When a younger woman is drawn to an older man, she doesn't act the way she would around men her age. She doesn't play the same games. She doesn't flirt the same way. Instead, her signals become sharper, deeper, more layered. And most men, yes, maybe even you, walk right past them. You think you're being respectful, polite, careful not to overstep. But in her mind, your hesitation confirms what she fears most, that you don't feel the same. And that moment of hesitation, it can kill the entire spark before it even begins. I want you to imagine this. She laughs at a joke you barely thought was funny. She leans in closer when she speaks. And every time your eyes meet, she doesn't dart away. She holds it. That's not just kindness. That's not just politeness. That's testing if you'll make the move she desperately wants you to make. Because here's the secret. Younger women attracted to older men rarely chase. They signal. They open doors. But it's up to you to walk through them. If you've ever wondered why some men always seem to know when to act and others are left clueless, it's not luck. It's awareness. It's about recognizing the 7 signs that she's silently begging you, the older man, to take the lead. And if you don't see them, you'll lose her before you even knew she was yours to begin with. Tell me, have you ever felt a woman's energy shift around you and you weren't sure if it was attraction or imagination? Drop your story in the comments. I want to hear it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. She won't say it outright, but her body already gave you the first clue. Watch her when you walk into the room. Does her posture change? Does she suddenly fix her hair, straighten her clothes, or shift her weight as if every nerve inside her just woke up? That's not coincidence. That's her body betraying the secret she doesn't dare speak aloud. Younger women drawn to older men often carry this nervous excitement around you, but instead of blurting it out, they let their actions whisper the truth. Think about it. Why would a woman, who could easily have attention from men her age, be so focused on you? It's because you bring something different, something solid, something that feels like safety and strength rolled into one. But here's the danger. If you don't catch her signals, she starts to believe you're blind to her. She convinces herself you're not interested, and the wall she once kept lowered begins to rise higher and higher until you can no longer reach her. You might notice her laughter is different when you speak, not the shallow giggles she throws at younger guys, but a deeper, more invested kind of laugh, the kind that lingers. Or maybe she chooses to sit closer, even when the entire room has space. Maybe she asks questions she doesn't need to ask, just to stretch out the moment, just to keep you engaged. These are not random. They are deliberate. They are her way of standing in front of you with open hands, silently begging, "Do you see me? Do you feel what I feel? Will you make the move I can't?" But here's the trap men fall into. You think she'll eventually say it, that one day she'll break and confess. She won't. Not with an older man. Why? Because in her heart, if you're really the man she believes you are, then you'll already know. You'll sense it. You'll lead. If you don't, her desire doesn't just fade. It transforms into disappointment, sometimes even resentment. So when she lingers near you without reason, when her eyes hold yours just a second too long, when her presence becomes heavier every time you're around, understand this. It's not random. It's her waving a silent flag, daring you to step into the role she wants you to play. Now tell me, have you ever missed these signals only to realize later she was waiting for you. Comment your answer below, and remember to like, subscribe, and share this with a brother who needs this truth. There's a subtle shift that happens when she wants you to make the first move. Her attention sharpens. Not in the way a friend listens, but in the way a woman listens, when every word you speak feels like a thread she wants to follow. Watch how she asks you questions that go deeper than surface talk. She's not just asking how your day was, she's curious about what drives you, what shaped you, why you think the way you do. That curiosity is not casual. It's desire wrapped in disguise. You see, a younger woman intrigued by an older man is not simply looking for fun. She's searching for depth, for stability, for a presence that younger men can't provide. And so, she positions herself in your world carefully, like a puzzle piece, testing where it fits. She leans into your wisdom, laughs at your stories, even when they're not polished, because what she's truly attracted to is not the joke, it's you, your experience, your energy, your gravity. But here's the catch. When she leans in like this, she's not offering endless time. She's silently measuring you. She wonders, does he notice? Does he see the way I look at him? Will he step forward, or will I regret giving him access to my heart? And if too much time passes, she pulls back, convincing herself you either can't or won't make a move. That's when she'll suddenly become distant, harder to read, almost cold, and you'll be left questioning what changed, when in truth, she gave you the chance, and you let it slip. Pay attention to the way she invests her focus on you. Does she remember the small things you said in passing? Does she circle back to them in future conversations? That is not the behavior of a woman who sees you as just another man in the room. That's a sign of emotional investment. That's her heart quietly leaning in, waiting for you to take her hand without her having to ask. And here's the secret most men miss. When a woman remembers your details, she's giving you a piece of her inner world. She's already chosen you in her mind. She's waiting for the confirmation that you've chosen her too. So let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed a woman paying attention to things no one else remembered, and only later realized it was because she wanted you? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and send this to a man who might be blind to the signs right in front of him. One of the clearest signs she wants you, the older man, to take the lead is the way she softens her defenses around you. With younger men, she might be guarded, playful, even sarcastic to keep control of the dynamic. But with you, something shifts. She allows moments of vulnerability to slip through. Maybe she shares a personal story she doesn't tell others. Maybe she admits a fear, a dream, or something she's struggling with. That is not small talk. That is an invitation into her private world. And when a woman offers you that access, it's her way of saying, I trust you enough to see me. But here's where most men sabotage themselves. They mistake her openness as simple friendliness. They nod, they comfort, and then they retreat. Do you realize what that feels like to her? It feels like rejection. It feels like you confirmed her worst fear, that she risked opening herself and you didn't want what she gave. That's why so many opportunities vanish without you ever knowing they were there, because you didn't step into the space she made for you. Look closely at her behavior. Does she seek out excuses to be near you? Does she linger when the conversation should have ended? Does she ask your advice on things she could easily figure out herself? These are not accidents. These are signs she is lowering her walls in the hope you'll recognize she wants you to step closer, not farther away. Understand this. When a younger woman desires an older man, she is wrestling with her own doubts too. She wonders if you'll think she's immature, if you'll dismiss her feelings, if you'll assume she just wants attention. So she sends these signals cautiously, carefully, waiting for you to validate them with action. If you hesitate too long, her doubts win. But if you lean in with confidence, her entire world shifts toward you. This is why awareness matters. Attraction between a younger woman and an older man is often hidden beneath layers of subtlety. But once you learn to see it, it's like learning a new language. Every gesture, every glance, every pause suddenly makes sense, and once you can read her, you'll never miss your moment again. So tell me, have you ever seen a woman open up to you in ways she didn't with other men, and you weren't sure if it meant more? Comment below. I want to know your story. And remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might be missing the signals right in front of them. There comes a moment when her subtle signals turn into undeniable tension. It's in the way she positions herself when you're near, closer than necessary, just inside your space, close enough that you feel her energy before you even touch. She might brush your arm lightly, let her hand linger a second longer than it should, or find reasons to make small physical contact that feels accidental, but never really is. These are her ways of saying, I want you to notice me not just with your eyes, but with your presence. Younger men often mistake these touches as random or casual, but you know better. Women do not give their space, their touch, or their physical signals lightly. If she's doing this with you, it's because she's already chosen you in her mind. She's waiting to see if you're brave enough to confirm it. And here's the truth. If you fail to act here, you won't just lose the moment, you'll lose her respect. Because nothing kills attraction faster than a man who cannot recognize when a woman is literally inviting him closer. Watch her closely. Does she lean in when she speaks, even when she could stay at a distance? Does she find excuses to stand beside you instead of across from you? Does her body seem to mirror yours, shifting when you shift, relaxing when you relax? That is not coincidence. That is primal alignment. That is her body communicating what her words will never dare to say. Make the move. But don't mistake this as a free pass to rush. The art lies in timing, in reading her comfort, in sensing that exact moment when hesitation turns into desire. A woman drawn to an older man expects him to lead with calm certainty, not clumsy eagerness. If you move too fast, she doubts your depth. If you move too slow, she doubts your desire. The balance is delicate, but when you get it right, the connection becomes unstoppable. Men often ask, how do I know for sure? You know when her presence feels heavier, when her nearness sparks a quiet electricity, when silence between you feels louder than words. That's the moment. That's the sign. So let me ask you, have you ever felt that magnetic pull, that unspoken tension, but hesitated until it was too late? Drop your story in the comments, and don't forget, like this video, subscribe for more truths, and share it with a friend who needs to open his eyes. The final and perhaps most powerful sign is in the way she creates opportunities for you to step into her world. Pay attention. Does she invite you to places she knows will feel intimate? Does she suggest grabbing coffee, running errands together, or even just staying a little longer after a group gathering? These invitations aren't random. They are her way of carving out space where you and her exist without the noise of everyone else. She's not just offering time. She's offering you the stage to make the first move she's been waiting for. And here's the truth most men never hear. Women rarely risk rejection with words, but they risk it with opportunities. If she keeps making room for you in her schedule, her conversations, her world, it's not just politeness, it's choice. It's her way of saying, I'm here, I'm open, I'm waiting for you to lead. If you don't, she will close that door, not out of anger, but out of self-protection. And once it closes, it almost never opens again. Think of the 7 signs as a silent language, the way her body reacts when you enter, the attention she pours into your words, the trust she offers through vulnerability, the physical closeness she creates, and the invitations she extends. Each one is a piece of a puzzle that, when assembled, reveals the truth. She wants you, the older man, to act. But here's the part most men miss. These signals are time-sensitive. Attraction is like fire. If you don't feed it, it burns out. This is why awareness is not optional, it's essential. Once you learn to see what she's showing you, you'll never again wonder if you should make a move. You'll know, you'll feel it. And when you step forward with confidence, the dynamic between you shifts instantly. You stop being just another man in her life, and you become the man she secretly hoped you'd be all along. So I'll leave you with this question, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments. Have you ever had a woman give you the signals, but you didn't act until it was too late? Or maybe right now, there's someone in your life sending these signs, and you're still hesitating. What's your story? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more raw truths about relationships, and share it with a friend who might be blind to the signs a woman is desperately showing him. Because sometimes, the difference between regret and connection is the courage to act when the moment is right.